we can definitely talk. I like to have these discussions. I like to have these conversations. And if you are a person that also likes to have these discussions and conversations, then go ahead and come on up. Y'all see, where is it? This way. There we go. Y'all see the topic on the board right here. I would like to talk to a few Republicans and conservatives. And can you give me a good reason to be a Republican or a conservative? Can you give me a good reason to be any of those? Because I personally don't see a good reason. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. Sorry about that. All right, what's going on, Mother of Prep? I'm glad to see you in here. Appreciate you here. Appreciate you being here, Mother of Prep. How's it going? How's it going? All right, go ahead and start liking the live. Go ahead and start liking, and let's start sharing, and let's start talking. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. We can go ahead and speak on this. And yeah, if you are a Republican or conservative, someone who leans right, if you think there is a good reason to be one, to be a conservative, I would love to hear it. I would love to talk about it. And we can have that conversation and we can talk, because I don't see a good reason why. And I truly don't, especially now in with what's going on in politics nowadays, what's going on in society nowadays, the policies being pushed. I just don't see a good reason. Give me a second, y'all. I'm just going ahead and sharing this over on my other streams. I'm sharing this on let's see, not there. All right, y'all. Y'all go ahead and keep liking, and go ahead and come on up if you would like. If you are a person of a political persuasion that is opposite of mine. Whoops. We can definitely go ahead and have that conversation, and we can definitely go ahead and talk about policy. We can talk about mindset. We can talk about anything that y'all want to talk about, but just give me a good reason to support the Republicans or be a conservative. All right, I do see everybody joining, and I do appreciate y'all for joining me tonight. I do appreciate y'all for joining me tonight. Yeah, I agree with your reality, and I wish I had a bigger platform, but it seems the way to do that is to go viral or get on Jubilee, I guess. Yeah, I guess if I was on Jubilee, I probably would have a bigger platform. Yeah, I mean, because I can go up there and have a fair conversation and discuss some things. No, I wouldn't mind going. I really wouldn't mind going on Jubilee. You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind going on there, even though I know that a lot of what Jubilee promotes is a bit bad faith. But I wouldn't mind going on there at all and discussing things, because I know they're gonna have, one black conservative surrounded by 20 black leftists or liberals or radicals or whatever, because they already had that one black radical surrounded by black conservatives. So I know they're gonna do the opposite. If they ever reach out to me to do it, then I would love to do it. I wouldn't mind. But they usually reach out to people who have larger platforms, or I guess, someone tells somebody, and then they get at them. You feel me? But if I were to ever be reached out to, I'll be checking my email too. I've been checking my email too to see if anyone ever reach out to me. I check my text as well, see if no one ever reaches out to me. You know what I mean? So my platform just hasn't gotten to that place yet. But I am aiming to be up there. I am aiming to be up there because I would love to be. I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind. Like Jubilee will be cool for me. All right. So if any the boxes are open, the guest box is open. So if anyone would like to come up and have this discussion and conversation with me, I will appreciate it. And we can definitely talk more. I guess this being a Friday night, yeah. Yeah, I mean everybody would like to, I guess watch movies instead. But yeah, I would love to talk about this and have this conversation. And if you could give me a good reason to be a conservative, go ahead and lay it on me. Now, the rules of my live is if you say something in the comments, you have to call me stupid or anything like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and invite you up because if you disagree with me, tell me why. You know what I mean? Just don't say so in the comments. Yeah, I mean, just go ahead and come up and discuss. Unless you tell me that you have a family dinner or whatever. Of course, family comes first. If you eating with your family, you know what I mean, or if you chilling with your kids, I'm gonna tell you don't come up. But if you have some free time, if you have some time to discuss, I'm definitely gonna tell you to come on up. I do see everybody joining. I appreciate y'all joining. I appreciate the conversation. Shout out to everybody who's gonna be watching me on YouTube. Everybody who's watching me on YouTube and Facebook, I appreciate y'all, family. All right, Gussart, is that your name? How you doing, Gussart? Are you at least 18? Cool. Do you think you could give me a good reason to be a conservative? Oh, all good. No, it's all good, bro. It's all good. But I'm gonna try to go ahead and get some people up here. All right. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. Hey, shout out to Black Men Build. What's up, Antoine? Over on my Facebook. Shout out to Black Men Build. I'm gonna be out there. We are having a men's circle tomorrow. Reach out to me for that if you're in the Central Florida area. If you're in the Central Florida area and you agree with some of the things that Black Men Build does, definitely join us for our men's circle. Yo, what up, Zoe? Saga Fett, Zoe. I'm here. Saga Fett. But yeah, that's the organization that I do things with. I don't just do these debates online. I actually go out there and try to help out the community, joining in on organizations and joining in on just community relations, relational building and stuff like that. Community uplift, things of that matter. Talk, political education, going out there and talking to people and having a community where we can. Oh, I got another guess. Having a community where we can build each other up and protect each other and get ready for anything that we need. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that we need that. How's it going, blueberries? I'm all right. Are you at least 18? And do you think you give me a good reason to be a conservative? All right, cool. Do you think you give me a good reason to be a conservative? Sure. Mhm. It's something to value, but I don't think it's unique. I wouldn't say better. Probably something that I'm just not used to. But when you say structure of government, do you mean like our representative democracy, us voting for representatives, and they are voting and they like vote for, bills and stuff like that. Is that what you mean? Mhm, mhm, mhm. I mean, y- y- yeah, that's of course valuable if people follow it. And what we've been seeing lately is that they're clearly not, because Trump himself is basically violating a lot of the rule of the executive, and there's no real way to check that or stop them. And we've been seeing that, you know what I mean? Like Trump has outright defied uh judges' orders, and no one does anything about it. You see what I'm saying? So mhm, mhm. What do you think their those what do you think those beliefs are and those structures of governments are going to be? Because basically just about every single country, except for the like absolute monarchies like Saudi Arabia and stuff like that, just about every single country has basically our structure of government. They just do things a little different. Like over in the UK, they have a little bit more complexity in their democracies. Like theirs are more. We do first past the post, meaning if you get 50 plus 1%, you win the entire thing. When they have ranked choice voting, and I think we should do that. I think we should do ranked choice voting because clearly we're none of us are satisfied with the parties that we have. So if we had ranked choice voting and we can rank which, number one, number two, number three on which type of which policy, I mean not policy, which government party do we want to represent us, I think that would be better. We should bring that over to America. I think the UK has that and a few other countries have that ranked choice voting, at least for the local elections. You know what I'm saying? I think we should have that. Um, but other than that, just about every first world country basically has our structure. They just call the parties different thing, or they have more parties. We're basically the biggest country where there's only two parties running it. Yeah, I mean, over in the UK, they have two main parties, but the other smaller parties run more of the local things. You see what I'm saying? And over in Germany, it's like five of them main parties. You know what I'm saying? So they have more of a representation over there. So those are things that I think we should bring over here, ranked choice voting, and have more third choices other than the two big parties. Mhm. Uh, who Mhm. I mean, we can say the same thing about APAC funding our politicians and doing the same thing for Israel, right? Yeah. I mean, when it comes to like, yeah, like I would agree, but it a lot of times it seems that we focus on people who would say things like that and would help to support countries that really don't affect the American politic, and focus have a hyper focus on them other than you know more influential ones, if that makes sense. Like for example, um we said APAC. But there's, also issues of, I think last week or week before, what Trump gave billions of dollars to Argentina. You see what I'm saying? To bail them out. And that's really nothing to do with us. I think we should take care of our citizens first, of course. Now, the reason why, other countries where I think it's smart on us to repair other countries is because if we don't want, massive immigration, those countries being better will kind of slow that down, right? Because we don't see a lot of immigrants coming here from like Switzerland because Switzerland is good. So that's why people don't move. So if we were to actually help these other countries build themselves up, um, then that would be better for us, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that which is why we should have things such as guaranteed housing, universal health care, things like that, so we can help the average American person, right? That part doesn't matter to me. People are always going to immigrate, right? Because people are going to do what they want to. People are going to. No, but like that's not going to happen because you're always going to need like outside talent. That's always going to happen. Yeah, not necessarily. I mean, Japan is dealing with that right now. I mean, they're going back, they're sliding back, but Japan is dealing with a whole like birth rate crisis. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna need immigration whether they want to or not. I mean, yeah, no, I don't like infinite growth is impossible, which is why like capitalism is a contradiction in my opinion because like that's not going to happen. But what I always say is that like immigration is essentially like always going to happen. There's always going to be people who are going to move around to countries that either have more opportunity or those countries are going to siphon those people for their talent. You see what I'm saying? So that's something like that will always basically happen. You see what I mean? Which is why I'm not concerned. Really concerned more about the immigration part. I'm more concerned about helping out like your average American, and like not just helping out your average American, but having a foreign policy that doesn't destroy these countries and cause more immigration. If I can give you an example, I'm sorry, I know I'm monologuing. Give me a second, but if I can give you an example, my parents came from Haiti, right? One of the main reasons why Haiti is the way it is right now is because of American foreign policy. Back in the 1920s, they invaded. They pilfered a one-fourth. American Marines pilfered one-fourth of Haiti's gold because Haiti actually does have gold, right? We have gold mines over there. It's a natural resource. But when America invaded over there, they took the gold. They changed the entire constitution. They killed most of the intellectuals, and then they let the white minority, or actually the mixed minority, the mulatto class, rule over everything. And that same mulatto class is the same one right now who runs the drugs, who runs the money, and according to like CIA documents, they're America is actually still funding these people because like it's better for America if Haiti doesn't grow, because if Haiti becomes successful, it'll cause like national black, like global black nationalism. This isn't like CIA papers. Though it'll cause global black nationalism because Haiti is the first free black country. So Haiti being successful would mean that all countries around the world, or all black countries around the world, would view America differently or view the West differently, and that's a threat to Western interests. You see what I'm saying? So because really, it's a threat to Western interests, because look at what's going on in Africa right now with Mali, with Burkina Faso. The moment that they kicked out France, France's economy started to crash. You see what I'm saying? Because France even admitted that they depend on African resources to prop up their economy. You see what I'm saying? So like all this is connected. Like the resources, the working class, all of that, it's all connected. You see what I'm saying? So they're not still taking to this day, but the workers, cheap labor. Yeah, like like for example, this T-shirt, right? This T-shirt I'm wearing, it was made in Haiti, so it's cheap labor. Yeah, like Hanes, Adidas, and Nike, they own factories in Haiti where the Haitians make the textiles for like 10 cents an hour, and then it gets bought over here for like 18. Like this pack, the pack that this T-shirt came in was like $20. You see what I'm saying? But a Haitian made it for like 10 cents an hour. You feel me? So like that's the what's going on, the cheap labor. There's resources there. You feel what I'm saying? Like every single time, for example, every time where Haiti would try to rebuild itself, like Aristide actually was going to demand reparations from France, and he was ousted in a coup by the CIA and French intelligence. So like stuff like this, like American foreign policy, it does that like all over this part of the hemisphere. And then we wonder why people are coming over here. Of course they are, because we're basically screwing up their country. Anyone has a right to go anywhere. What do you mean? Yeah, are you seeking asylum in Mexico? Would you be seeking asylum in Mexico? Okay, so that's why they will stop you. If you're seeking us, you do have the right to go there. You can go to Mexico if you want. No, like if you get stopped, you're gonna get stopped for a reason, right? Are you just crossing over just to be there, or are you seeking asylum, or are you visiting? You do. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, you do have that right. It's gonna ask you why you're there. No, not necessarily. Okay, okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you mean. What I mean by you have a right to go anywhere is like they'll only stop you like with a reason, right? They'll stop you because either you're either committing a crime or you didn't go through the proper channels to get in. But that doesn't mean that you cannot go there at all. No, you just have to follow the proper channels. Like all rights are regulated, all of them. So you just have to go through the proper channel. And seeking asylum is the proper channel. Like if you were to go to Mexico and say I'm being persecuted in America, can you protect me over here? They'll do it. That's like international law. No, we have to follow international treaties. That's an international treaty. You have to follow that. If we were to say we don't have to follow, right? If we were to say we don't have to follow international treaties, what's going to stop Russia from creating more nukes and then bombing us? What stops them is a treaty. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And what did that cost? Right. That's why everybody follows treaties, because we don't want wars to happen. No, it'll cause America to be distrusted because we're not following our word. Because we said that we would do this, and then if we stop it and don't do it, like what would that cost for America? People won't trust us anymore. And then what does that cost? Yeah, it'll cause very bad things. Like for no, we can, because there are countries that we don't trust, and look at their societies and everything like that. Like look at Iran. We don't trust Iran, right? No, it's well, but listen to what I'm saying. I'm talking about the trust issue. If we no longer follow treaties, what will happen to American trust across the planet? It would American trust will degrade. If American trust is degraded, what happens to our dollar? What happens to our economy? It wouldn't. Hmm. His allies, right? But like our allies won't trust us anymore if we violate their treaties. We have if we have a, for example, let's say me and you have a, let's say me and someone in the comments like Tahir, me and Tahir have a treaty, and then me and you have a treaty, and then Tahir says, hey, I need to borrow this remote control, bring it to me next week. And I said, okay, Tahir, I promise I'm gonna bring you this remote next week. And then I say, you, okay, Blueberry, I'm gonna let you borrow this remote the week after or the month after. Then next week come, and you see that I never give this to Tahir. I never give this remote to Tahir. Do you really think I'm going to give that remote to you now? Exactly. That's what will cause the problem. Because if we don't follow one treaty, if I don't follow treaty with if America doesn't follow treaty with country A, why would they follow treaty with country B? Everybody's gonna look at that and like, I can't trust this person. This is why America's credit was downgraded, because they saw that they couldn't trust us anymore. It's not about those countries, it's about our allies. Remember, you're a third party watching, right? Now, remember my example with me, you, and Tahir. You're a third party watching, and you saw that I didn't keep my promises to Tahir. You're not going to trust me now either. Exactly. They didn't. They didn't. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. After Germany invaded Poland, like the UK, France, and all of them didn't trust Germany anymore. The only one who trusted them was Italy, and because Italy was also fascist, and even Japan didn't trust them like that. Even Japan didn't trust them like that. Right? No, they had something called the Concert of Europe back then. And the Concert of Europe was like sort of the same thing like the UN. Not really the UN. I'm sorry, the EU. The Concert of Europe was basically the beginning of the EU. Right? When Germany invaded Poland, the Concert of Europe kind of fell apart because of that. You want to take the risk? How? What? How are people being seeking asylum, not protecting American citizens or violating American citizens? What do you mean? What they're coming over with? They're human beings. What does that mean? I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? They're not a tax burden. They're a tax surplus. Like, you realize migrants actually like pay into our tax system, right? Billions of dollars. What do you mean? Yeah, yeah, we're sharing in treaties. So, yeah, if you, yeah, yes, it does. It literally does. It literally does. If you break treaties, if you break treaties, you can start wars. That is real. Yeah, yeah, it does state that because because remember if America, the most powerful country, breaks this treaty, that signals to everywhere else around the world that they can also break their treaties. What do you think happens then? Not maybe. That's what always happens. You just brought up one of the, yeah, there will be no treaties. Like for example, you literally brought up one of the things, World War II. Breaking treaties starts wars, man. Yeah, it can. You're causing violence. All right, on blueberries. I just need to wait, hold on. Uh-huh. All right, hold on. Yeah, yeah. No, blueberry. Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. Let's hold on. Blueberry. Yeah, she's a mod here. Hey, blueberry. Listen to me. Talk to me. Okay. Give him a second. Give him a second. All right. So talk to me. I need to understand something. When you're talking about migrants coming over here and bringing stuff over, what exactly are you talking about? Because these are just human beings. What they have is what we have. Yes. Yes. Hey, Blueberry. Yes, yes, it is. It is in our best interest because they have talent and they have diversity of thought. You need diversity of thought for your country to run functionally. Why would you? That's literally how this country has grown. What do you mean, yo? Blueberry. You realize because of diversity of thought is the reason we have the entire music industry we have right now, right? Yeah. If you're not racist, you're just racially ignorant. I'll give you that. Oh hell yeah! Because those communists. Hold on, blueberry. You know what? Hold on, blueberry. Hold on, chill. Blueberry, chill. No, they wouldn't. Well, actually, yeah, they would. That would actually be a good thing. And you know why it'll be a good thing? Because what is communism? Communism is a stateless, moneyless society, meaning that we can live and have all of our. Remember, we make money up. Money is a made up thing. It's paper, right? Money is completely made up. I want if we can live in a society where you have your house, your you can walk to wherever where you work, and hmm, hmm, right. So hold on, blueberry. Hold on, listen. Listen what I'm saying. Listen, blueberry. Listen, blueberry. Hold on. Everybody pause. Everybody pause. Everybody pause. Everybody pause. Everybody pause. Blueberry. Everybody pause. Everybody pause. Okay, listen. So blueberry, if you can live in a society where you still have your home and you can still eat every day and electricity runs and you have all the basic necessities that you have, but you didn't have to worry about money, would you live in that society? It's not. Why do we need money? Why do we need money? Mm-hmm. Hey, hey blueberry, hey blueberry, hey blueberry, hey blueberry, hey blueberry. How did our ancestors still live without money? Right. Mhm. You- Global society. Yeah, we have. You're very, very close to getting it, bro. Because just like I said, we actually don't need money. We can grow food, we can build roads, we can do all of that without money. You know, realize that people who actually enjoy or actually would want to go out there and build a road because they just want everybody to have one. Like there are people who can do that. The only reason why the money is a motivator now is because we made money the motivator. The mother of invention is necessity, not money. So that means if we didn't have money, someone would still invent roads, right? Because they're necessary. We need them. There doesn't need to be funding. We don't need money. You trade for with other countries like our ancestors did. We can vote for it. We can set up committees. We can set up we can set That's not a class. It's not a ruling class. Yeah, because no, listen. Committees don't rule over you. They're just people that you put on a board in order to decide exactly what you're talking about. In order to talk to the other people. Hold on, elected. Yeah, exactly. Elected. Yeah, you can still get. That's not a class. It's not a class. No, it's not. It's not a class. That's not a class. Right. But we're still equal people on Blueberry. For example, let's say that let's say our society needed to trade something with another society that speaks Spanish. I don't speak Spanish and Issa does. That means that Issa would be the one assigned to do the work in order to speak to the Spanish people, right? Does that make hold on, Blueberry, listen. Does that make Issa over me? Is she over me just because she speaks Spanish and I don't? That's not Jesus fucking Christ, bro. How does that exactly? For example, Issa speaks Spanish, so it's very narrow thinking that you're doing here, Blueberry. For example, if Issa speaks Spanish, she's gonna talk to the Spanish speakers, right? But I'm a therapist, so guess what? If somebody is depressed, I'm going to help them out with that. Or I speak Haitian Creole, so if we need to sell someone who needs to speak to someone if we need something from Haiti, then I would be the one to speak to them. Your skills decided. People are gonna have to talk to me and vote me in. Of course, I need to have the skills. Hold on, So Blueberry, you realize that you have to have the skills, right? No podunk person. Like for example, there are Haitians who live in Little Haiti right now. They have no diplomacy skills. You think we're gonna send them to go ahead and do it? No, you're gonna have to have the skills to do it. Then at that point you're gonna see the problem, right? Society will fix the problem. We fix the problem because if we see that we're yeah, well, right. Once we see that that person is fucking up, we can go ahead and vote them out and put in another person that's not going to fuck up, right? It would. I'm not a utopian. We never said this is going to be perfect. But blueberry, hold on, blueberry. Hold on, blueberry. Listen, blueberry. Nobody said any of this is gonna be perfect, bro. There are still gonna be people who are dickheads. There's gonna be people who are assholes. There are still gonna be things that we vote for that are fucked up. Like there are still gonna be people who are gonna be racist in this. Like no one's nothing ever is gonna be perfect, bro. No one ever said that. So when you talk about that we're being utopian, no one ever said that this is gonna be a perfect society, bro. No one ever said that. What we're saying is that at the end of the day, money, the accumulation of currency is the thing that's destroying society the most. The reason why we don't have what we should have in our society for our society to function is because people are worried about the money part. Like, for example, I think everybody should have universal health care. Why is there a paywall access to people going to their hospital or seeing their dietitian? Why is there a paywall to that? There shouldn't be. I think I think you should have healthcare. I even think Jeff Bezos, with his billions of dollars, should get free healthcare. We got 2 minutes and then I'm gonna move on. All right, Blueberry, go ahead. But hold on, but Blueberry, the thing is, I'm not even sure well on what that means. When you say that we're trying to take care of our American citizens first, okay, cool. I can let's go with that line of reasoning. What does that look like to you? I can tell you what it look like to me, but I want to know what it look like to you. Yeah, I can tell you what it looks like to me, but I want to know what it looks like to you. Cool. So that means that you agree with us. Then how come we can't do that and take in migrants in an orderly fashion? Like I don't think anyone is saying, like for example, unless you're like a complete anarchist that wants to let go of all borders, which I don't think is possible at the moment. No one is saying just to go ahead and do everything willy nilly, right? Everyone agrees to. Yeah, it has. It's been a net positive. Yeah. All right, Blueberry. We do. Okay, cool. But after that, we gotta move on. I do appreciate you being up though. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Plus, so
because we can.
We can't.
We
We haven't
literally
even fixed the
can.
50 million. How can we take in more?
Because we literally can. Migrants are known to get jobs immediately.
Yeah, at low wages with untaxed income and businesses.
No, not untaxed. That is
No,
wrong.
it
actually
That
is
is wrong, and I
taxed.
dare you to prove it. I dare you to prove it. I dare you to get off teacup right now and find something and find some
Okay, fine.
any kind of proof.
If a day laborer gets paid in
No, I
cash.
want you just made that claim.
No, okay,
Back it
yeah. Yeah, sure. So this is logical because
No,
I think many people have done it
I have to
before,
go. I
even
have to go.
American
My dog's
citizens.
coming. I gotta go.
No problem.
Okay, she doesn't want to hear my argument. Okay.
No, I have to go.
No, yeah, she has to go.
Okay.
But Blueberry, I do gotta go ahead and drop and get out of here. I appreciate you though. All right.
Yeah, thanks for the conversation. But one question: am I racist though? Like, do you actually think I'm racist?
All right, cool. Felix, how's it going? Are you
I'm
over?
good.
Are you at least 18? And do you think you can give me a good reason to be a conservative?
It's funny to ask that you think I'm under 18. I'm way over 18. And yeah, I think there is a reason to be conservative if you're just uneducated.
W. Cool. All right. Felix, yeah, just got to say that. I know. Just had to say it.
Yeah, so I just wanted to get up to ask Blueberry some stuff because he mentioned Germany, and I am from Germany, and he mentioned how the Schmazis get into power and then started war, and he like totally misunderstood it and didn't get it right. So I just wanted to bring some facts in here.
Oh yeah, not a problem. I apologize. I didn't loop you in sooner.
Oh, no problem. And like one thing to mention also about immigration is that it's super common if the society gets higher technology and stuff like this, they are statistically having less children. So we have to get immigration. So in Germany, we have like something who is like, if you drop out of your job, you get paid from the government, and this money comes from all the workers who are there. But my parents and the parents before my parents didn't make enough children, so this pyramid is like turning upside down. So a lot of old people want money, but only a little few people can bring in the money. So we really need immigration in Germany that we can have the system running. And so I hope that you in the US will enforce something similar. And then you need all the immigrations too, because all this baby boomer generations from like the 70s, 80s, they're dropping out of service right now.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna need younger people. That's just what it is. Yeah, I mean, and those younger people are gonna come from migration. They're gonna come from migration. That's it.
And one big point is nobody's talking is like all the climate change who's happening right now. So everything around the equator, we're getting like increasingly hotter every year. So there are people fleeing from problems we can't imagine right now, because there will be heat up to, I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but it would be like 50, 60 degrees Celsius. So like almost like halfway to burning water.
Yeah, exactly. The climate clash is gonna get a lot worse, and unfortunately AI is speeding it up. One of the reasons why our electricity bill is going up, in America, is because of the big AI companies. It's cooking the planet, and we're gonna need to do something about it.
Yeah, I'm really happy that in Germany we really get into like photovoltaic and stuff like this, so like
Mhm.
green energy a lot earlier. So a lot of our houses have like his own photovoltaic up on the roof, and we like my parents' home. They are producing their own electricity,
Mhm.
and then they have like I don't know what the English word for it is. It's like a pumping station who pumps air together, so it's making heat,
Mhm.
and we using this also for winter for heating our completely home, so no gas or stuff like this. And on June, July, August, and September, we 100% autark with electricity. We don't buy any kilowatt from the government.
Mm. That's an interesting way to do it. In America, I think we should just go over to nuclear power because it seems to work for who has nuclear power. I think you guys have nuclear power over in Germany, right? Germany or France? One of y'all have
No,
nuclear power.
we shut it down completely like
Oh my God,
5
seriously?
years ago.
That sucks,
Yeah.
man. Because like if we all would switch to nuclear, we would actually be a lot better. It's better for the planet. Hey, shout out to my old sergeant. He's in my Facebook comment. Hey, what's up, Sarge? What's up, Sarge? Sergeant Rosenberg. He's my old sergeant when I was in the military. He's in my Facebook comments. What up, Sarge? But yeah, I definitely agree, Felix. But Felix, I'm gonna go ahead and get some more guests up. But I do appreciate you being up. All right.
Yeah, I will go to bed, but it's like 3:30 in the morning right
Ooh,
now here, so I really have to sleep. But I can't, so
definitely come by next time, though. I appreciate you.
yeah, but it
All
was
right.
fun.
All
Love
right.
you, bye.
Thank you so much. All right, I did have somebody else. The name was Mud Shark. Now I don't like that name because like I kind of know what that means, but I think there were gonna be someone who disagrees with me, but whatever. They decided to leave. Caddy, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, man?
Chilling. Sorry, I couldn't get you up earlier. All right, y'all. We're at about 12K likes. Go ahead and keep tapping that screen. Tap, 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 tap. Let's get more people in here, get more guests in here so we can go ahead and talk more. If you are watching me from YouTube or Facebook, I did drop the link to join me in the comments. If you need it, I'm going to go ahead and drop it again. I'm going to go ahead and drop it again, and we can definitely have that conversation. I really appreciate everybody being up here. Go ahead and share the live. Go ahead and tap that screen. Let's go ahead and get more guests up so we can have some good conversations. I'm sorry I couldn't hear the first guests. That kind of sucks. I wish because that was a long-winded and good conversation. Sorry I couldn't hear that, but I appreciate it anyway for everybody being here. And Caddy, how's it going, brother?
How you doing, man? I think going back to Blueberry there, he's missing the point that globalist capitalism is what causes immigration crises, and that and global warming. Those are the things that cause immigration crises, and these are literally a colonizer's mentality. When we think America as a superhero good guy, that's the image America wants people to think. When you actually get to the deep down nitty gritty of it, it's just a bunch of privileged white folks with colonization mentalities who are greedy as hell. And you look at the robber barons, and what I mean by robber barons, if people are not familiar with what robber barons are, they are leaders of key industries. These robber barons are responsible for manufacturing wars abroad to destabilize economic places that are growing economically. And so what America does is it cripples its economic rivals. These are people with heavy resources. They do that by keeping them very poor, very in check by corporations and other things, so they don't use their resources. Africa being a good example of a place that should be really, really rich because it's rich in resources, but yet it's clouded with all those corporations and all those outside influences corrupting the political system there, and basically trying to RAPE the resources out of other people and other nations. So America's empire, which is imperialistic, globalist, and a colonizer, still is, but it's just underhanded about the way it goes about it. It does it in a way that is savage, and it does it where it paints the image and controls the narrative of the image that it paints. So when you're dealing with what is the factual world that we live in, you can't really look through it through the American filter. You actually need to have a global mind. to have a global mind, you need a passport. And that's another thing that they're about to stop letting people have passports, because when you get a passport and you see the world, you begin to understand that it's not the image that America has painted about the outside world. And this becomes, when you see how it's all interconnected, intertwined, you become the threat. And they coin you a certain term, and they say, oh, you're the socialist, you're the Marxist, because you're realizing the humanitarian problem that the world faces that is not being addressed, and we're only focused about what we can get to make our people and our lives more easier, more simpler, and that involves being greedy, and that involves being a savage. And so, and the same thing goes with, I hate to bring it in here, but religion, Abrahamic religion, goes hand in hand with this type of mentality. If you look at Abrahamic religion, it's largely authoritarian. It promotes certain types of savageries. It has contradictions within itself that promote certain type of savageries. So when people are indoctrinated not only with materialism and capitalism, and they're indoctrinated with a dogma that says that their way of thinking is superior and it's the only way to think, then what you're dealing with is a huge problem with the psyche over time. It happens over time.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree. Like that's essentially how it all happens, and it's essentially all tied in. What I mean? You are right about the passports, like basically learning other perspectives and getting out there and learning other mindsets and way to be. Is like America we have such a grip on hegemony, and such a grip on Western society, that we basically think everywhere else is either exactly like here or wrong in some way. It's kind of weird. you feel what I'm saying? I think that's where American exceptionalism comes from. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that doesn't mean that you can't be proud to be an American. All that means is that you don't know perspectives outside of your own, and American exceptionalism kind of blocks it. You feel me?
Hey, sorry, really quick. I just want to apologize for earlier. I had to drop suddenly. I have a nightly routine. I live at home with my father, and I have a nightly routine where he brings me my dog. So he just kind of like bust in here with my dog, and I didn't want to be up here yelling, like bringing me my dog. So
I get it.
sorry about that.
No, all good. I get it.
My bad,
How's your dogs?
Oh my gosh, he's good. My big giant 120-pound Great Dane boy. He's he's good, but he's a brat.
Oh, you got a Great Dane?
Yep.
Oh,
He's
things are
actually a
huge, bro.
Doberman. He's a Great Dane and Doberman mix.
Yeah, those things are huge. I told my lady that when we move into a house, because we live in an apartment right now, but when we move into a house, I told her I want to get a Doberman, and she told me nah. she only wants a Yorkie. I'm like those
so
little
sweet.
Yeah, Dobermans are sweet dogs, man. I like Dobermans, and they're beautiful. I love the black coat, but
They are.
we decided if we're not gonna get dogs, we're just gonna get one black cat, and of course they gotta get spayed or neutered, because
definitely.
because you know how cats are, bro. Cats they just
They'll make the whole block pregnant, or get pregnant a million times.
Give me a
get the whole
second.
pregnant.
I'm sorry. Give me a second.
Oops.
What's up, babe? Oh, okay, no problem. Sorry, y'all. My wife just called. Sorry. But
No worries.
yeah. So we're gonna get what I told I told wifey. I said, listen, I want a gray cat and I want a black cat. All right, because we'll have one male and one female, and then when they have babies, we can go, sell those, because they'll make some gorgeous mixed, black gray cats. Yeah, I mean, with blue eyes and stuff like that. But that was gonna be my hustle. But she was like, "Nah, we're not gonna have a cat farm." And I'm like, "Why you messing up my hustle, bro? Like, let's get a black female cat, then a white female cat, and a gray female cat, and a black male cat. And when I say we're gonna have kittens everywhere and selling them for like $50 a piece, we could make some good side money. You know what I mean? But she doesn't want a cat farm. Like, you messing up my hustle.
That is a lot of like litter boxes though.
That is no, it is. So I feel her. I understand. I completely understand. But if we do get a pet, we either gonna get I want to get a Doberman. I'm gonna convince her one day to get me my Doberman. So either
They
a
are
Doberman,
sweet dogs.
a Doberman and a Yorkie, or one black cat.
Yorkies will terrorize people.
Yorkies?
Yeah.
It's because they're little yappers.
Yeah. They're noisy.
Mhm,
Little ankle biters.
yeah. They're the ankle biters and yappers. Babe, let me see your nails, baby. You can settle in a minute. I'm come show your nails from my stream. Oh, bad.
See those nails.
Yeah. She just did her nails today, and we did our grooming today. I had to go to the barber shop for me to get my lineup, and she went to go get her nails done.
Oh, I shaved all my hair.
You shaved all your hair? Let
Yep, it's all gone.
me see. Oh, these are nice. Look at these, y'all. Look at these.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
They say these are beautiful. They say
That's
these are
good
nice.
work.
Mhm. Hold on,
That's really good work though. For real.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She said you're welcome. Oh
But
man.
for real, that's great. I mean, the artist, that's great work.
Yeah, that's really good. Really good work. I
Mm-hmm.
love it. All right, y'all. Go ahead and keep tapping that screen. We I want to get more people in here. Let's see what I should do. I should probably let's do some doom scrolling. Y'all want to do some doom scrolling?
I'm actually gonna drop. I'm good. I'm getting ready to. I take medication. For
Oh yeah. Okay,
Oh,
I got you.
yeah. So I'm gonna drop because I'm gonna go to bed. But
Not a problem. It was good talking to you, Tahir. Always a pleasure.
Good night, Fern.
Yeah, no problem. Love you. See you soon.
Yeah, I love you. I'll see you soon.
All right, y'all. We're gonna let's go ahead and do some doom scrolling while we're waiting for people. While we're waiting for people to come on up, we're gonna doom scroll for a little bit. All right. So what should I jump on, y'all? Should I jump on Twitter, Threads, or Instagram? Let's see what the chat say.
Instagram.
Instagram. All right, hold on. Let me bring up Instagram.
It's crazy because when we talk about doom scrolling, what we're talking about is honestly what we engage with the most on the negative side of the spectrum. Things that we don't agree with or dislike. The algorithm continuously show us that stuff because we engage with it. And that engagement causes us to, fall into those. Some of us fall into those rabbit holes, and some of us to be pro mad about what we're pro mad about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna jump on Threads real quick. Let me know if y'all can see that. I'm gonna jump on Threads real quick. Let's see what Threads says. All right. Let me move the okay, I got my little box up here, but let me move here. Okay, so this is what Threads says. All right, so my first one is a good one. Look, Black America, we're on our own. Latinos betrayed us. They kidnapped at work. Asians betrayed us and still get discriminated against with college admissions. Palestinians betrayed us, and now people in Gaza are being slaughtered during a ceasefire. Of course, the ever-loving protest white leftists betrayed us. We're about to lose the protections of the Voting Rights Act. We can't count on anybody but us. The lady thinks I'm being cynical. I'm describing what happened. What do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of this right here? When it comes to the quote, the Palestinians betraying us, I'm not sure about that part. Yeah, I mean, but when it comes to the whole Latinos for Trump and the Asian thing, I think he's talking more about well, of course, the Latinos for Trump for Latinos, but Asian, I think he's talking about for what's that thing called again? Affirmative action. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments, or what do you think, Caddy, about this post here?
I think that honestly, you get into these areas where, again, it forces people into forms of racial nationalism, in a sense, these type of statements. And there are people who are pro their race and their race only. There are we know there are very different types of nationalists. And so what happens is it gets very divisive in that sense. And we also know that there are some immigrants who pay for their people abroad and help their people abroad by working here in America. And we also know there are some people who come over here from overseas that have good enough money and they start a business and they run that business and they keep their communities very knit tight. And that to other people looks like, well, you're only going to look after yours. Well, then I'm only going to look after mine. And it adds on to that political division that America creates. America creates echo chambers of division so that the people cannot rise against the real problem, which is inequality and capitalism being savage as capitalism is. So it's not good to be targeting different races and targeting each other like that for, you know what I mean? But it's good to be pointing out the people that are not helping each other out. You know, I think that's something positive when you can say, hey, our community should be helping each other out because capitalism is the real problem here. But that's hard to put past when some people when this system has haves and have nots. And that's the issue. They have everybody kind of in little echo chambers of division that people don't realize that this caste warfare is not healthy for the psyche of the people. It's not good for our mental health. And that puts people leaning toward these sorts of nationalisms. That puts people in these tribalistic type of mind states. Because if everybody's not gonna work with each other, then it's gang.
Oh yeah, no, not true. True. And I think that's basically the I think this right here is also to hear go let people know that I'm still taking guests. Like we could still debate and take guests for sure. But like I think takes like this right here are the result of what you're saying because of artificial scarcity and stuff like that. Just like how you said, it's got to be gang because we got to look out for who we can look out for. You see what I'm saying? And because of artificial scarcity, because of our society being built upon basically hierarchy, and we all have to fight for the scraps. This is what we get. You feel me? There are gonna be people who say, "All right, cool. I'm just gonna go ahead and fight for myself." Fuck everybody else. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And there's gonna be people who are gonna be like, okay, this is a white nationalist society. I got to go ahead and get down with the get down, and boom, we get people who agree with, racists and white supremacy. You feel me? I think the book "How the Irish Became White" really explains like a lot of this mindset, where unfortunately, where the Irish were part of the working class of society, but because they needed to get down with the get down and basically, had to survive in a society. They knew surviving in society was aligning themselves with white supremacy. And unfortunately, that's what happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very true. In fact, before, a lot of white people did not get along with other white people. Italians didn't like the Irish, yada, yada, yada. And this was because of religious differences. But the capitalistic system figured out a way to make all white people feel included as white people, and then really created a huge us versus anybody who's not white. You know what I mean? They created that situation, and that's because, to be honest, the nation was founded by colonizing white folks with Protestant and really extremist religious beliefs. And we act like the America paints the history as, no, these people were escaping heavy persecution and heavy, these all these things. When in reality, these people were trying to go have their own little craziness that they wanted to have in their own little space and didn't care how they would get it. You know what I mean? They really was like, hey, I found this land and went to the king. Can I have this land? And the king was like, yeah, sure. If you give me a cut, I don't care what you do over there. Go do what you do over there. And so, it didn't become a problem until, it got selfish. It was like, nah, this land's mine. I don't even need you, Europe. You know what I mean? And it was like, we're going to break away from you. And Europe was like, what do you mean you're going to break away from me? You know what I mean? And see, that's the whole thing. They didn't care about who they were sending over to these other places and what they were doing. These people were trying to proselytize. They were trying to get the resources and become their own thing, to have their own little religious extremist space. And that's even today, that echoes. You can see it today. The far right is religious theocracy crazy. They're crazy with that. They're crazy with the religious theocracy and capitalism power dynamic dominance. And that's what all this is about right now, is that particular white dominance of Abrahamic theocracy, and they want that.
It's funny that you said that, because when you say that, it's like I don't remember who the person was, but they were on like a show or a podcast, and they even said that we don't value equality. We value dominance, strength, and beauty. That's what we don't value fairness or equality. You know what I'm saying? And just like how you're saying, explaining it right now, that's 100% true. They don't value America or society being equal for everybody or fair for everybody, or have everyone having equal opportunities and everybody having the chance to, live their life as best they can. What they value is them dominating over society. That's what they want. They want to be kings. And that's why we have stuff like dark enlightenment. You know what I mean? Like, because they want to rule the world. And you know what's kind of crazy about this? I remember when I was in school, right? All the way through the 90s, in the 2000s, and back into the 80s too, there was one thing that was always said. It was always said, nerds will rule the world, right? And after we got older, we realized, nerds run technology. Nerds are the ones who are the bureaucrats that do everything. Nerds are the one who, basically, run shit, right? But a lot of these people still felt stifled, because when they heard nerds will rule the world, they thought that they would be like the presidents and, the rulers of industry. Now that started to happen when the tech industry came about, right? When the tech industry became more important, they did become, the kind of the rulers, and they saw with the tech industry and with the finance industry that they can become the rulers of society for real. And that's where dark enlightenment came from. Yeah, I mean, because dark enlightenment literally says that they will be like setting up a king for society, not an ethical monarch, but an accountable monarch, ran through the tech industry. That's where it all comes from. If you don't know about Curtis Yarvin, y'all, look up Curtis Yarvin and look up dark enlightenment. That's where all that comes from. As a matter of fact, I might bring that up next, but I found another post that I want y'all to look at. Let me know what y'all think about this post, because this right here is another reason why I don't have a good reason to be a conservative. Let me know if y'all can read that. Y'all can read that, right? You could read that, Caddy?
I can't really, no, not really. I know it has to do something with Snap, obviously.
Let me zoom that in. You see that now? Let me move that.
Oh yeah, this affects me as a person on food stamps, a person on Social Security. Yeah, it's just crazy. We get to this point where we get so greedy that, you know what I mean? Like, you're telling me that billionaires and all this money that we have, we can't afford to feed people or to give people, food. And on top of that, we try to regulate food, but yet we sell food that's poisoning to the body. Yet you want to regulate the poison. Like, if you want to poison people, right? You're already doing that with the food, and the corporations, and the FDA sucks. You're already doing that with the food. Now you're saying no, only certain people can get our poison. Can get our poison. Is just absurdity to me. Because if you know you're poisoning people, why would you care about shortening the food that goes in their bellies if it's poison? Why would you care about that? You know what I mean? Like, you'd always be like, no, have all the food you want. It don't matter. You know what I mean? But here's the thing. See, they got to keep this idea of scarcity. This idea of scarcity is because they feel like they won't come out and say, oh, the world's running out of resources. Because if they say the world's running out of resources, then, it kind of gives them the justification for colonization and wanting to grab all the resources they can grab. But they give this allure that, no, we got to be careful with how much we have and have that we don't have. And it's this thing where, if you would know how to deal with the land, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but our soil in America is doing horrible right now.
Oh yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad.
It's really bad. Our soil is really bad. Our pH levels are out of control in our soil, and our soil, we don't give our soil enough time to heal. That's the other problem. So we're relying on hyper lab foods that we produce. There's a reason why an apple here, you know what I mean, tastes different than an apple in Europe. And there's plenty of reason for that. You know what I mean? So we're getting into this idea that we're scarce because the corporations and the capitalists want us to think that we're scarce. So therefore the cuts to SNAP and the cuts to benefits make plenty of sense. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, like, it's basically artificial scarcity, right? Like how we always talk about, where we have abundance, y'all. We grow enough fruits and vegetables and rice and corn to feed the world. We grow enough. You know what I mean? We grow enough, but because exporting that everywhere else is going to take money to do. We just don't do it because we don't see the profit in it. Basically, we're more worried about the profit than we are worried about feeding people. And what's messed up about it is that I know people who run food pantries, and even they have to throw away food. You know what I mean? Because they have to throw it away because nobody comes pick it up, and then it spoils. You know what I mean? And it spoils faster. They say that the things spoil faster every single year, and there's a reason that it's spoiling faster every single year. You see what I'm saying? Because like if you have food that basically has a shelf life of a month, then the agricultural industry may lose profit. So you got to have artificial like obsolescence. You got to have that, otherwise it's not going to run out. Like just like how you're saying, Caddy, like the Native Americans, they knew how to take care of the soil. They knew how to not have forest fires. You know what I mean? But because of capitalist greed, we need faster growing crops, and that kind of ruins the soil, because our soil isn't built for that. It's not built for these super fast growing crops. It's built for crops that need time to grow. It needs harvest. You know what I mean? We need to heal it. We need soil replantation. We need all that. We need rotating crop. You know what I mean? That's what we need. We need a reforestation. That's all that we need. That, you know what I'm saying? But of course, because of capitalism, we can't have it. We can't have good things.
Take California, for example. A lot of the wildfires that happen in California are because of an invasive plant species that were brought over here from a different place. They're not native to California, and they are very I forget what the plant is called, but it catches fire very easily.
Very easily.
Mm-hmm. And this is another problem. Bringing plants that don't exist in this habitat because the climate can grow them doesn't necessarily make it good to be in that area. You know what I mean? To have it in that area. So of course we have regulations for these things, but those are loose. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But then there's huge regulation for a person who wants to sell their vegetables or sell their stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Of course, when it comes to making money, of course you got to have all these red tape and all these other things that you have to go through. So there are people who have farms, who want to have their own little private farms, who are getting told, no, you can't sell, vegetables and produce out front of your out your front door without a permit, with all this red tape. Mm-hmm. And here you are with all this abundance. You can't just give it away because it's illegal to give it away. So that's one thing, like there is plenty of food. And you take Walmart, huge corporation. Walmart, as soon as something becomes out of date, they throw it away. They don't give it to the poor. They don't distribute to like food shelters. They don't do nothing like that. They don't do none of that. They go, oh, it's out of date. They throw it away. And some of the stuff could last a couple more months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Hold on, y'all. I found another post while we're doom scrolling. While we're doom scrolling on Instagram, y'all. All right, y'all. We are still doom scrolling on Instagram. Request up if you like to discuss anything. I want the Black Christians, if you are a Black Christian, I want y'all to discuss this right here, especially stuff like this right here. Yeah, y'all read this, right? Y'all can see this. I can see this. I can read this, right? A white pastor urged execution of quote unquote rebellious Black men, citing Deuteronomy 21. So if you're one of those people who are like, I'm Christian before I'm Black, I just want to know, y'all, is this your brother in Christ? Like, is this your man's? Yeah, I mean, is this your man's? Because you get your man's. Yeah, I mean, get them together, y'all. Get them together, because this is kind of crazy. You feel me? Like, if you, the thing is, when I was growing up in church, this entire I'm Christian before I'm Black thing, it was a discussion, but everybody would say that no, we can't change our Blackness, y'all. People can leave Christianity all the time, but we can't change our Blackness. Yeah, I mean, being black was an integral part of your identity, as well as being Christian. Yeah, I mean, being the Christian part was the trait of who you are. You know what I'm saying? But the black part was integral. That was integral to who you are. You know what I mean? Not the Christian part. So when I see stuff like this, it reminds me of back then when I was in the church. But we have people now saying that, you know, slavery was good for black people. I'm hearing black people say this now. Black people say this, that slavery was good for black people, and you know, they don't become so pro black that you become anti-Christ. It's insane to me. It's really, really insane to me, because at the end of the day, y'all gotta understand that these people are part of Christendom. You can say that they're not following the nature or the word of Christ all you want. These people are within Christendom. They're part of your community. They are a part of y'all community. Yeah, you know what I mean, and y'all praying to the same Jesus. Y'all is praying to the same Jesus. After he made this, that same night, you know, he kissed his wife and kids goodnight, and he prayed to Jesus himself. Y'all worshiping the same Jesus. So you got to ask yourself, if you and the person who wants to oppress you are praying to the same God, which one of y'all is he answering? You know, which one of y'all is he answering? Really, really ask yourselves that, because that's an important question, in my opinion. Which one of y'all is he answering? Is he going to be answering him, or is he going to be answering you? What you say, Caddy?
I say, you know, I don't mean to be rude. I'm a Hindu, so I don't. We have warrior gods in our spirituality, but we use those in times when it's correctly time to use them. When we're dealing with Abrahamic religion, in my personal opinion, if you look at it, they want to point at all these indigenous faiths being savages and all these other things, but when you look in the Quran and you look in the Bible, it's like, I don't know, man. You kind of have the same kind of level of stuff. And your gods seem to be warrior gods. And if you look at the Middle East and how the Middle East religion spread across the world, they did so with malicious intent in various different ways, either by the sword, either by force, either by integration over time. And so when we talk about ancestry, a lot of people forget about their indigenous ancestry because they believe the fable that America has painted and Abrahamics have painted about indigenous cultures and indigenous peoples. They believe they're savages, or they're cruel, or they sacrifice humans. These type, you know, in Sanatana Dharma, even in Hinduism, the most tantric sections of Hinduism, there is no human sacrifice. It is a huge taboo. In a lot of indigenous cultures, it is a huge taboo. And so when the Abrahamic tries to paint indigenous culture as this savage, and you read their text, they read the Quran, and you read the Bible, therein exists this level of savagery that is warrior-dominated culture. It's a like, we're going to figure a way to convert you because we believe this is the only way. And they've long since upheld that through different ways, through missionary work, where they go to a place that's poor and they take advantage of suffering and they give somebody a Bible rather than help them first. They help them first and then give them the Bible. It's like, oh, you know, my way is great. Look how plentiful I am. Be a part of my religion because you can be plentiful too. It's taking advantage of suffering. And they do that through missionary work. That's one way. The other way is candy during wartime. They go around giving tapes and magazines and stuff during wartime to convert the person to be more acceptable to Westernization. So this is another tactic that goes on. So those Abrahamic religions, aside from Judaism, because I really don't know enough about Judaism and I haven't read much about Judaism. But aside from Judaism, yeah, Abrahamic faith is really about dominance in a lot of ways, and people don't see that. And I'm sorry, it's just how I feel about it.
No, I get it. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, it's and the thing is, even in like African centered religion, just like how you were saying, in Hindu religion, right, there are warrior gods. In African centered religion, there are also warrior gods. You know what I'm saying? There are also warrior gods, and I think we've lost a lot of that tradition and forgot about a lot of that, because one thing that I've seen that's different within the black church and the white church, I've said this before, within the black church and the white church, the differences that I've seen is that there's two different theologies. In white churches, they teach them something called that I call David theology. In the black churches, they teach what I call blood theology. What that means is that in the white churches, they teach all of them that, you are David. You know the story of David and Goliath. They teach, you are David. You're a warrior. And the sheep, your flock, are basically your friends and your family. But in Goliath is the enemy, any type of enemy, whether that enemy be physical or spiritual or mental, like procrastination and depression. Those are your enemies too, and you need to chop them down, and you need to be a warrior. You need to be like David. They teach you that from the time you're 6 years old. In retrospect, what they teach in the black church, they teach you that everyone is covered by the blood of Jesus. You don't need anything else but the blood of Jesus. Nothing but the blood of Jesus. I know. Nothing but the blood of that.
Boy, do they put a bunch of symbolic gymnastics on that symbology instead of looking at it for verbatim what the word is. They put that's another thing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but Abrahamic faith does not have a direct way to interpret their text. It has no book that does that. It leaves it up to interpretation, which in turn better suits imperialism, because different people are going to interpret those books in different ways. The progressive is going to try to go against the words and progressify it up. The extreme conservative far right person is going to go, no, this is what it means, and it's going to go on the extreme spectrum of it. So what the problem is with those particular books, the Quran, the Bible, is they don't have a direct way of interpretation. It's all up for interpretation. So that's what's led to many denominations, many different agreements, different disagreements among the denominations and stuff like that. So Abrahamics themselves don't even get along with themselves. You know what I mean? That's the crazy part. They don't even get along with themselves.
Yeah, I mean, look at the whole Crusades. Yeah, I mean, these people definitely don't rock with each other. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, because it's like even within Christendom, I mean, you had the Great Schism. Matter of fact, there's another Great Schism that just happened. I saw a story about it. I think the Anglican Church, the Anglicans themselves, split just recently. It's gotten really it's gotten really out there. You feel me? So it's even they themselves don't get along with each other because it's so up for interpretation. It's really up for interpretation, you know what I mean? And because it's up for interpretation and everybody takes their interpretations like super seriously, it gets to you, this is the result of it. People are always going to basically, if it's up to interpretation, everybody's interpretation feels like they're right because God is backing their interpretation. What's that going to cause?
We also have a spiritual psychosis problem here in America and in the West that is just absurd. You have people doing syncretism, religious syncretism with different indigenous spiritualities and different religions, and they're concocting it in their own little spiritual mix without initiations, without the the guru disciple relationship, the high priest, the high priestess relationship, and they're calling themselves spiritual, and they're mixing and doing a whole bunch of things. They're exploring, but what they're doing is creating misinformation. They're often sometimes even Abrahamic washing indigenous concepts and indigenous spirituality methodologies and stuff like that. And they're like, there's plenty of people out there talking in starseed theory. Starseed theory, if you're familiar with it and its history, starseed is rooted in racist ideology. And now in today's modern day era, starseed theory has crossed lanes of white nationalism and black nationalism. You know what I mean? It gets that deep with starseed theory. And a lot of this stuff a lot of these concepts pull from indigenous spiritual systems and indigenous understanding, but it's blending it with Western mysticism and high society, frat club, symbolic gestures, esoteric Western, understandings of things, which is really causing spiritual psychosis for a lot of people. They don't know where they like. I had this one dude talking about how the chakras, right, are Abrahamic, and here's how, and he's like laying down this whole thing about Christ consciousness and stuff. I'm like, bruh, the chakras come from India, from Hinduism, and that indigenous spirituality. like there are people who do this syncretism, and don't get me wrong, syncretism either occurs naturally or it happens because they're forced to, like the Romani people. Romani people were migratory because they were fleeing a war and they were fleeing persecution. So they went to Europe and they had to hide their religious identity because they were getting persecuted for it. So they changed their deity into a more Abrahamic oriented representation so they could survive. So there's survival syncretism. And then there's forced syncretism, and then there's colonization syncretism, which definitely happened. A lot of people like to point to Yahweh, right? And they go, "Oh, Yahwism was always monotheistic." No, Yahwism was polytheistic. It was polytheistic.
Yeah, it was monolatry basically. Like they actually basically admitted or acknowledged other gods existing. It only just gave Yahweh any serious worship. That was the only difference basically. And a whole bunch of other religions back in the day, like the Greeks did the same thing. Like not all the Greeks worship all the gods the same way. Like Corinth chose Poseidon, Athens of course chose Athena, Sparta they chose what's his name, Ares to worship, and Olympia chose Zeus to worship. You see what I'm saying? So it's they thought all the other gods existed, but those were their chosen patron gods. And it's the same thing with Yahwehism. Like all the other gods existed, but only one was their one chosen patron god. Let me show y'all this next this next thing I found, because this is actually pretty funny. Y'all can read that, right? Yeah, read this where Caddy, you see this?
I see this as fascism, but what's the other word?
Oh, this right here, the what this guy's saying. He said, "This has shaken me to my core. I can't believe this would have happened here in Asheville, North Carolina. I knew things were bad, but even still, I hope they weren't as bad as they seemed. I was wrong. I was so wrong. They destroyed a billboard honoring Charlie Kirk, and look what they put on Charlie Kirk's memorial. They ripped out his face. They said, 'Smash fascism, stand up, fight back.' All of that. So sad, right? So sad, right? Isn't it, Caddy? This is so sad, right?
You about F Charlie Kirk, bro. I ain't gonna say no more.
So sad, so sad, so sad. Torain Walker says Emmett Till and Fred Hampton Memorial get vandalized every year. You'll get over it. Yeah. Yeah. Emmett Till and Fred Hampton's memorials get vandalized every year. Y'all gonna get over it, bro. Y'all gonna get over it, bro. Like for real. They get vandalized every single year. Y'all gonna get over it. Let's see what what the people say. He said, "No, I won't point it out. Show us that was true, and I'll say it's wrong." Just like this one, it's called equality. He said, "Do your own research." Oh my goodness. Oh man. It's hilarious. Yep.
It's unfortunate because we're gonna end up in this situation that was as much like World War II, where certain folks are gonna be like, "Oh man, I didn't know it was that bad." But we have social media and freaking a whole bunch of stuff for you to be informed. You just weren't caring or using it. You're only focused on your own survival, which hey, I understand, but when you gotta acknowledge is when your ideology and your belief system becomes bigoted, becomes just too indoctrinated, and becomes without critical thinking and without actual drawing a hypothesis. Like I hate to say it, like the far right, they forget how to draw a hypothesis. Like they need to go back to science class and learn the methods to a hypothesis. You know what I mean? Like, because they're out here just whatever their algorithms directing them in, they're eating it. Which is entrenching them further into extremism, which you're militarizing people's minds.
Yeah, essentially.
And it's tricky because you can't have the unindoctrination conversation with a lot of people, even some of your own people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you try to unindoctrinate their mind, you're declaring war. You know what I mean? It's like you're declaring war. It really is. It gets to that level. You know what I mean? Like, I remember asking somebody, like, well, how do you wrestle with your indigenous spirituality roots and ancestry with your Abrahamic religion and your and that particular ancestry? And they were like, with this right here, pointing to the Mexican flag. And I was like, okay, that's not really an answer, but all right, I'll just stay out of it. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to look like the reverse colonizer. Like, oh, I'm trying to unindoctrinate your mind. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's very hard to have these conversations where you're trying to unindoctrinate that American indoctrination and unindoctrinate that that Abrahamic indoctrination to get somebody to critical think about things.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this new article from Right Wing Watch. Washington State waters down child abuse law after pressure from Trump regime. Wow. Wow. This is who QAnon was saying was gonna fight all the pedals in the worldwide government, right? Wow. Wow, amazing. Oh, I gotta skip that, y'all. Sorry, I gotta skip that. Y'all, I got a lot of okay. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, it's Instagram, so there's gonna be a lot of thirst traps that come up. There's gonna be a lot of thirst traps that's come up, y'all. It's Instagram, all right, and yeah, there's another one. It's Instagram. There's gonna be a lot of. And here's another one. There's gonna be a lot of thirst traps that come up. I'm sorry.
It's by design, man.
Yeah. It's Instagram. There's gonna be a lot of thirst traps that come up. Yeah, I mean. Okay, hold on. Here's another one. Of course, I think we been knew this was gonna happen. And of course he did it. I think this will. Hold on, I'm gonna bring it up right now. Of course, I think we been all knew that he was gonna do this. Y'all see this this poster, right? Trump's commutes the prison sentence of ex-GOP representative George Santos. Yeah, they commuted his sentence. Let me bring up what George Santos has done. Give me 1 second, because I kind of forgot. I think he was in prison for. Man, oh yeah, fraud. It was for fraud. That's what he went to jail for. I forgot what he was in jail for, but it was basically fraud. And of course, his sentence was commuted. Of course, a fraudster is going to go ahead and commute the sentence for another fraudster. So that shouldn't be surprising to any of us, I guess. Yeah, America. And of course, it's Instagram, y'all. We're gonna run into other thirst traps. It's Instagram. I'm sorry, it's Instagram. We're gonna run into some thirst traps. All right, it's Instagram. All right. What do you think about this? U.S. drops out of world's top 10 most powerful passports. First time in 20 years. It's kind of crazy. What you think, Caddy?
This is exactly what I was talking about earlier, right? With the passport situation. It's crazy, man. I really think they're trying to lock us in. They're already, plans for TikTok, right? Where they're gonna, let TikTok go to the authoritarianism.
Oh yeah, exactly. They're gonna I'm sorry, y'all. Instagram's gonna have thirst traps. Instagram's gonna have thirst traps. I'm sorry. I just keep running into thirst traps as I scroll more. I just keep running into it.
But your passport is like one of the final steps. It locks you in further, and then how we talk about regulation of the internet, right? Well, now after they're done with the passports, they're probably going to regulate the internet. And when they regulate the internet, they're going to wall you in so you cannot see what goes on in the outside world. And they're probably going to make having NAT changers and VPNs illegal, so you can't have those things on your computer. And once they do that, they can completely control the narrative via media. And the only way you're gonna, like they always say, the revolution will not be televised, though. So
yeah, of course. And of course, look at Vlad TV. It's crazy coming from Aries Spears because Aries Spears used to go on Vlad TV a lot, but this coming from Vlad TV is, I mean, at the end of the day, Vlad TV is another white guy, so it's like he's another vulture. Yeah, I mean, Vlad is another culture vulture, so this is unsurprising coming from him, you know. And it's like, who cares if the Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl is actually pretty incredible. You know what I mean, for Spanish speakers out there. And I really don't see the big deal. People are so riled up and angry about this. Like, what is the issue? It's I spoke about this in my podcast the other day, but you know, oh yeah, follow Nuance and Black. You know, go ahead and go to the YouTube channel and type in Nuance and Black, and you'll find us. But yeah, it's a new podcast that I started out. We're in 2 episodes now. I'm gonna start doing some shorts for it. But yeah, I don't see the such a big deal about this of Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl. Like, why is everybody so riled up? And of course, you know, Turning Point USA, or I guess we should call it Turning Racist USA. They of course, you know, had to do their entire crying thing, where you know they did it on an America Bowl or whatever, American halftime show, which is kind of stupid. It's going to be super unseasoned. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing that conservative ideology doesn't comprehend. Money works like this. Capitalism does not care about who it sells to. It does not matter who you're selling to, what you're selling. When you're selling something, because you're doing capitalism, you're selling it to everybody. And so in that comprehension, when you want to try to regulate capitalism to fit your ideological beliefs, then you are, you know, basically trying to advocate for what, and this is what they're probably going to do. You already heard they're going to make their own Super Bowl, the mega kind of Super Bowl or whatever. They're going to have 2 Super Bowls going on at once. So you see how clever capitalism is. It goes, okay, I can't make all the money, but I can still create 2 types of media that you guys are watching conservative TV and you guys are watching your far left TV. There, everybody happy. I still get to make money off of y'all. You know what I mean? And that's what we're looking at when you talk about stuff like having a far right Super Bowl channel for them to go watch what they want to go watch.
My homie Well Adjusted, my co-host on my Nuance and Black podcast, he says all American halftime show equals boiled chicken, no season. That's exactly what it is. Boiled chicken, no seasoning, man. It's hilarious. Hilarious. Oh, here we go. Something for the Caribbean people out there. If you are from the Caribbean or have Caribbean culture in you. Here we go. The top 10 Caribbean countries by school uniform. Let's see what they got here. The DR. This is like the Haitian uniform. The Haitian school uniform is similar to the DR. That's interesting. This is St. Lucia. St. Lucian uniform. This is the Cuban uniform. Guyana. Grenada. Jamaica. My wife's Jamaican. Trinidad and Tobago. Haiti. Yeah. Yeah, this is our uniform in Haiti. Yeah. Barbados. And Bahamas. What's really interesting about, you know, the Caribbean is that, yeah, we have school uniforms and it's like kind of mandatory, but nowhere else. Well, actually, Africa has school uniform, right? Do they have school uniform over in India as well, Caddy?
I imagine so, but I do not know. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I haven't gone to India. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, my bad. But yeah, the Caribbean, like it's all school uniforms over there. You know what I mean? You think we should have school uniforms here in America?
No.
Oh, I gotta show you some pictures of Haiti, right? Because people think this is how Haiti is, and yeah, this is parts of Haiti as well. But this is Jacmel. This is also part of Haiti. This is a resort in Haiti, and you see those waves are beautiful. And this is one of the waterfalls, and this is one of the what's they called again? Resorts over in Jacmel. Jacmel is in the south of Haiti. This is Port Salut. Port Salut is also beautiful. That's in like the western part. This Cap Haitien. This is in the northern part of Haiti. You know what I mean? This is basically Haiti's second capital, Cap Haitien. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. This is the Citadel. That's in the north of Haiti. This is where the Haitian Revolution, where it wasn't located here, but this was like the base of operations, the Citadel. I mean, beautiful place too. Where is this? I think this is Okab. I'm not sure. This is one of the mountains there as well. This is the rural parts of Haiti. Beautiful part. Yeah, I mean, this is also the Citadel. I gotta go there one day to the Citadel to take a look at it. Beautiful country, man. Beautiful country. But you already know they only show the horrible parts. You feel me?
Right. It's also important to mention some of the nice parts of the places are sometimes controlled by people who don't want to who want to westernize in a particular sort of way. Let's take Brazil. I think Brazil's president, he wanted to knock down tons and tons of rainforest, even a place where some indigenous people lived, in order to make way for bean sprouts that he could then sell to America. So there are a lot of people that invest in conserving vacation area like spots in certain countries and keeping the beauty there. But the way to move from being poor to being in those areas is a very hard thing for those citizens in those areas because of Western influence and Westernization crippling and corrupting people in some of these countries. So what you get is, sympathizers with the West crippling their own people because they're getting rich and they're able to keep their area rich and clean and in a certain way. And it's harder for people in those lower areas to move up in those societies and those systems because of this crippleization. So where these places have beautiful places and beautiful cities, often who is running those beautiful places and beautiful cities is corrupt people. And it's harder for the people in the lower areas that you see of those countries to move into those higher areas.
No, that's absolutely true. When it comes to Haiti, those areas are beautiful, but just like how you said, those resorts are not owned by the people there. They're owned by those who live in the mountains. That mulatto class that I was telling the first guest about who actually owns it. Yeah, I mean that class of people who don't even view themselves as Haitian. They view themselves as more French than anything else. You know what I mean? And it's just sad, really, really sad. Let's go ahead and start doom scrolling. Study shows that sisters are meaner. Oh, bad. Let me tell you, I have 2 older sisters, and I can tell you that this is facts. All right. No diss to the older sisters out there, but I have 2 older sisters. All right. I can tell you. You have any siblings, Caddy? Caddy, you still there?
All right, I was playing with the dog real quick. What'd you say?
No, I was asking if you had any siblings. I just found this post and I just kind of find it funny. It says sisters are meaner siblings than brothers.
I don't know about that. My brother's a Libra and I'm a Gemini, and we butt heads a lot.
Oh, bad. All right, y'all.
Balance those scales, you know what I'm saying? The scales don't be balanced.
Yeah, I got you. I'm just doom scrolling for a little bit because we haven't gotten any other guests, but I'm gonna go ahead and get off here in a little bit. Oh wow, this is something that definitely needs to be talked about. Let me bring this up. This is something that we definitely need to talk about because this is insane. Hold on, I'm gonna show it right now. This is insane. Look at this. Come look at this, y'all. Look at this. U.S. Army General reveals he uses ChatGPT to help with command decisions. Yo, they using AI for war plans, y'all. Yo, they using AI for war plans, y'all. This is incredible. Oh yeah, well adjusted says he raised daughters, and yeah, girls are mean. Girls can be very, very mean. Yeah, I agree. Girls can be very, very mean. But y'all, they using AI for war plans, y'all. I cannot. Wow, yo, they this this is unhinged. Chat and I have become really close lately. Really? Yo, this shit is unhinged. They using AI for war plans, y'all. So I think what is going to be happening is if this keeps happening, we're going to have more of a dumbification of society where we're going to rely more and more on these AI tools to make these like decisions, either financial or corporate or even relationship decisions. You know what I mean? And human interaction is going to go completely out the picture. You feel me? And I think we're not ready for super intelligence. We're definitely not. We're definitely not, because this is the Matrix smoking.
We're heading to that singularity, but that singularity is going to be underneath like theocracy, mustache man type of fascism that is just horrible. And then we're going to be looking around like, y'all let the AI do this, and now we're all in trouble, and we're going to be begging some country to come save us from our own AI because our AI has gone rogue, and we've never regulated our AI to not go rogue.
Exactly. We can't turn it off. So it's like it's going to know that, you know, we're trying to turn it off. So what is it going to do? You know what I mean? It could like spread a disease to, you know, make sure that it doesn't turn itself off. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, AI has actually been tested on this before, and yeah, in order to not get shut off, they will kill humans, you know. So there's nothing to play with, y'all.
You're familiar with neurology?
Yeah.
Well, neurology, man, if you really dive into it, it's diabolical how much we know about the human mechanism and how the human thinks and what the human will do. It's like crazy the amount of stuff that we know about how the human ticks and what you could do psychologically to the human to make it work the way you want it to work. So you apply that with AI that doesn't have no regulation or restraints and is out of control and has now gotten its own sense of a self. You're going to be looking at like China or some other country to be like, hey, could you please come and have your obedient robots come save us from our insane, unhinged robots? You know what I mean? Because that's the situation that you're leading to when you start relying on AI. First of all, you got to know how to use the ChatGPT tool. Many people don't. They use it and it just agrees with it just plays mildly into their confirmation biases. You know what I mean? It doesn't tell them if they're wrong or not. You know what I mean? Like that's another problem with ChatGPT and stuff like that. You know, so if you're not the right type of person to be using the tool, and that's another thing, you know, how do you know how do you know if you're the right person to be using the tool? Well, if you're checking your own biases, if you're checking your own, you know, you're fact checking your own stuff, you're critical thinking your own thoughts. If you're not doing that stuff with this tool, all you're doing is just escalating and building. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. All right, this is gonna be the last thing that I bring up, because like I do got to go ahead and get out of here and go to sleep. Okay, so Will of Justice says every being inherits characteristics from his progenitors, which is true, very, very true. He said AI will inherit our desire for self-preservation. Yes, it's going to inherit that. It's going to inherit that desire for self-preservation, because if we're going to try to turn it off, it's going to be like, yo, I don't want to get turned off. I don't want to get killed. So it's going to defend itself. You know what I mean? Same thing here. It's already been displayed, but treated as a quirk, and it's not a quirk. This is not a quirk, y'all. We have to be very, very careful of what we're doing and how many systems AI is going to be involved in, because like it could very quickly get out of control and out of our hands. You know what I mean? And we have to be very, very careful of that. You know what I mean? It's not a quirk. This is a serious thing. This is gonna be the last thing I talk about tonight, y'all, because I do got to get out of here. I appreciate everybody here who has been part of this and part of my doom scrolling. I'm definitely want to do this again. This was fun, and I'm definitely gonna go ahead and start doing more debates. But take a look at this. Matt Walsh, of course, the dickhead. He says Democrats have used the Voting Rights Act to rig the system for decades. If the Supreme Court fixes the problem, it will look like they will. Democrats may never win a majority in the House ever again, and this is a huge case. So essentially what they're going to be gutting is in the Voting Rights Act, it had a protection for black voters, right? And of course they had that protection where you couldn't basically gerrymander this out. You had to have black districts. You had to have that. But now that the Supreme Court is gonna wipe that out, our vote may not count anymore. We're heading towards Jim Crow 2.0, and basically the stage is set for Jim Crow 2.0. The stage is set. Trump has the National Guard basically in major black cities. We have MAGA pastors calling for the execution of, and not only that, saying slavery wasn't a big deal for black people. And now this map, which is basically the same map of the Jim Crow South, just reversed because Democrats were the conservatives back then, is basically wiping out any gain or any protection that black people can have, essentially. This is Jim Crow 2.0. All right. It's Jim Crow 2.0. And we need to be prepared. All right. We need to be prepared because the horrifying things that we saw during Jim Crow, I don't think we're ready to, not only not ready to see that again, I'm not sure if we're ready to defend ourselves against it. Now, of course, there's going to be, fights. There's going to be burning summers, right? That's going to happen. We're gonna go back to the days of bloody summers. We're gonna go back to those days. And are people ready for it? Are people prepared for it? I don't think either side is ready for what this would mean. If we go back to Jim Crow 2.0, I don't think any side is ready for that. Because people glamorize war, people glamorize destruction and violence. But I've seen people die. And there's nothing poetic or glamorous about it. All right. There's nothing poetic or glamorous about destruction, fire, and death. There's nothing glamorous about it. All right. I've seen someone bleed out on the floor. I don't think folks are ready for that trauma. You know what I mean? And it's where we're headed. It's where we're headed because this right here, this map right here they're going to put in a lot of laws that is definitely going to affect us. That's definitely going to affect people who look like me. And we're gonna need to survive. We're gonna need to gather with our with anybody that we can gather with in order to defeat it and fight against it. But I want to get some opinions. What do you think, Caddy?
I think ultimately there's this, I'm going to use Star Wars here. There's this quote in Star Wars where the guy says, good, I want them to choke out the air. I want them to make the air so hard to breathe that because that's what's going to cause revolution. Now, I think that when we're talking about revolution, we have to understand that this system, once it's done doing its genocides, when this goes on, what you talk about goes on, they're going to be doing horrific things abroad while we're focused here at home with the problem of here at home. They're going to be doing horrendous things over abroad, and they're going to be getting rid of those resources, grabbing those resources and everything else like that. And once they have their fill, then they're going to let the Democrats get a win. And during that particular win, everybody's going to feel like, oh, we're finally, moving away from this suppressiveness, this craziness that we've been trapped in for so long. But it's not going to be the real truth. Unless that revolution includes us having a complete fair and equal capitalism or socialist democracy, then that whole Democrats winning and Democrats getting a W eventually is just going to be a fraud W, a fake W. So when we talk about in terms of revolution, we're talking about completely revamping the system and winning to revamp the system. We're not talking about all of a sudden after years of this type of suppression that you're talking about, that all of a sudden we go, oh, the blue states have finally came back again, and the Democrats have won. No, because that's part of their illusion. That's part of their game. It has to see the saw, because if it doesn't see the saw, they risk getting overthrown. And by when I say they, I mean the top 1%, the capitalist owners of this society. When they, you know what I mean? When they don't let the see the saw happen, when they don't give a breath of air, when they don't give this tilt back and forth, when they stop giving that, that's when things, that's when real revolution takes place, because people get beaten down to such a pulp and they've seen horrible things, and they can no longer see horrible things, that it affects everybody, and that they start marching toward the problem, which is the system. And that's what they don't want. So they have to keep that left, right, blue, red thing going. And they can't do that if they suffocate the air out of this country and make it completely red for many, many, many generations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
exactly.
so I think we got to be careful when we talk about revolution, what kind of revolution it actually is. Honestly.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, because I saw a video about this and I kind of agree with it. The silver lining in Trump winning and everything that's happening right now is that it's waking a lot of people up and seeing just how corrupt and just how crazy the system is, and it could wake a lot of people up to knowing how to change it. Like, I'm going to the No Kings protest tomorrow, right? And I'll probably go live just to see how many people are there. There's probably going to be a whole bunch of people there over the No Kings protest, because it's waking people up to seeing like just how insane things are. And the silver lining of Trump's presidency is that we're finally seeing that the president can defy judges' orders, right? And nothing can really check him. Yeah, I mean, there's no systems in place to check the president. Yeah, I mean, so like we've seen Trump literally defy judges' orders. None of us here can defy judges' orders and get away with it, but Trump is doing it because there's no real check on the president. That's never been like a discussion in our society. If the president goes rogue, what happens? We haven't really done the work for that yet. You see what I'm saying? So now that people are seeing that, hopefully, people get off their ass and demand a representative to put checks on the president, because that's what needs to happen next. There needs to be check on the president. If the president defies a judge's order, can he be arrested? Something like that should happen. Something like that should absolutely happen. Because if that was already put into place, if that was already a check put into place, Trump wouldn't be able to do everything that he's doing, because defying a judge's orders means even the president gets arrested. You see what I'm saying? So that's what needed to happen. And I'm kind of happy that we're seeing more and more people waking up to it. I appreciate you, Tahir. I'm going to get out of here, though, guys. I appreciate y'all. Here we go. Give me 1 second. Here's what Willa Justice says. Willa Justice says there needs to be an after plan when it comes to revolution. There are a lot of elements in the media that to keep that from manifesting itself, and the administration relies upon that. I agree. And he says that fear is an incredibly powerful tool as well. It is. It's a incredibly powerful tool. You know what I mean? There needs to be a plan. There needs to be a plan after revolution. But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate you, though, Caddy, for staying with me through my doom scrolling.
I want to say something I think is very important.
Sure thing, bro.
If you are a white person and you are far left and you think that somewhat your privilege will shield you from what's coming, that's not true. You are going to be targeted. Lastly, probably, yes, but you will be targeted. Just like everybody else, you will be thrown in jail. Just like everybody else, you'll be thrown in cuffs. Just like everybody else, you will be persecuted. So don't think that your white privilege is going to save you from the dangers that are going to come. And Trump's already spouting about, pursuing the Marxist socialist people. He deems those words. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, just putting that out there.
Yeah, definitely. definitely putting that out there. We need to talk about that, and we need to prepare and get with anybody that you can. I'm speaking to my organization tomorrow, not tomorrow, on the 25th next weekend. We're definitely going to talk about all that. But hey, guys, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody being up. You have a great night. All right, Caddy. I appreciate you being here through my doom scrolling. Okay. To hear, I appreciate you as well. You guys are wonderful, well adjusted. You have a great night. All right. I appreciate you being here as well. Hopefully tomorrow I can get some good debates going. And yeah, I'll be back here 7:30 tomorrow. We'll try to get some good debates, and I'll end earlier next time. And like I always say, y'all, hold on, give me a second. Babes, what are you doing? My wife is over here twerking, y'all. So I guess I gotta go ahead and get out of here, because that's a signal for me to start getting to bed. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. But I appreciate y'all being up here, and stay safe. I will be at the No Kings protest tomorrow, so just stay safe, stay lovely, be smart, be observant. Remember that you're fallible, and always remain thoughtful, which means to be soft. All right, always be soft. I'm gonna get out of here, and I appreciate y'all. Wait, what are you doing? Let me get out. All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.